Hello, this is Mark with BedbugsSupply.com, which will be going over the new MR-1000 Forza by Vapamore. It's our new commercial steam cleaning machine. We just got our hands on it this week. It's a very impressive model. It's actually the highest PSI model we've ever used before on our review. It comes in at 90 PSI, has a tip temperature between 270 and 280 temperature Fahrenheit. What that means is bed bugs are killed between 180 and 190 degrees Fahrenheit on contact and 120 with continuous heat. This one's well above that, between 270 and 280. When you're doing a bed bug job with a steamer, the higher the tip temperature, the more it can fill in cracks and crevices. Like you're doing a couch, a sofa, baseboards. It's going to fill in those cavities and kill the bed bugs more effectively. Also the PSI, when it comes to 90 PSI, means it's drier steam coming out. So it takes less time for it to dry, to man the environment. There's a whole bunch of features that come with it, from the TechFlex nylon braided steam hose here. It makes it more durable for a commercial environment. It has a steam adjustment knob, which is normally found in your commercial units. That allows you to control the steam level of steam coming out. That way, if you want higher output or lower output, you can control that. Especially on a bed bug job, you don't want to blow the bed bugs all over the place. So it allows you better control. It has over 50 different attachments to it, making every application capable. We like to use more of a triangular attachment. It even has another bed bug attachment. It's more like a hammerhead attachment. And then it has more of a single jet nozzle, which we'll go into later on in the video. Operating the machine is very simple. It's a continuous model. What that means is you have a regular tank here, and it injects into the boiler. When you're doing a bed bug job and you have a larger job to do, you don't have to wait for it to cool down before you refill the unit. So essentially one tank injects into the other one, so you can continue to steam perpetually without having to wait for it to cool down. So normally your higher end machines will have that feature for it. The steam pressure knob itself is right here. This basically shows you where you're at your pressure. Every time you pull the trigger, of course, it will come down. It'll gradually work its way back up as the boiler is heating the water inside the container back up. For using a bed bug job made for professionals, this piece right back here, the basket, as well as the handles, you can remove this if you like by just removing the screws. That makes it easier to keep in the back of a truck or a car, and you can use this handle here to carry it around. It's about 45 pounds we found when we fill it up with water, so it's not too difficult to carry around, but it is, of course, a heavier model because it has more of a capacity of water that it holds onto. The casters are heavy duty, they're commercial, the casing's made out of metal, so it's very durable, especially if you're transporting it from room to room as opposed to a plastic unit. It's less likely to get damaged. It also helps to protect the interior components to it. Given it's also a commercial model, it's one of the first units out there that is operated by a computer. So, for example, when you're running out of water, an alarm goes off telling you that you're low on water. It's very well managed when it comes to doing a steam job, as well as very simple to operate. You just press the on-off button here, the steam adjustment knob here, and the unit basically does everything by itself. On different commercial units out there, we found that if the fuse switch ever blows, it's normally inside the unit, so you have to essentially, package it back up and mail it back to the manufacturer to have it reset for you. This one really has a nice feature in that if it ever happens to you, you can use the switch back here, just press it, and it allows you to reset the fuse switch without having to mail it back to the manufacturer, which is a very, very nice feature. The unit has a lifetime warranty to back up the unit, which is nice. It shows you the quality of the components. It also has a Chime solenoid to it. Usually on commercial units, when you pull the trigger on a non-commercial unit, like the entry-level steamers, it has a mechanical switch inside the trigger, which allows the steam to come in and out. The only problem with that is that when you pull the trigger, you let go of it, the steam in the actual hose turns back into water. You have to purge the unit. With your higher-end machines, including the Forza here, you pull the trigger and it actually has an electronic switch that engages the steam to come out of the unit as opposed to the handle. So you get good dry hot steam without the water normally turning back into water, or the steam turning back into water as you pull the trigger. So it's a lot drier, it's a lot hotter. You have a 90 psi, 270, 280 tip temperature, allow you to fill in those cracks and crevices with heat and to do a bed bug job much quicker and much more effective than a lower psi tip temperature. So we're going to show you some applications on how to use the machine, show you a few of the attachments, and how to use this commercial unit specifically to do a bed bug job the right way. Okay, before we show you what to do with the steamer, I want to show you what not to do when you first get. These are one of the common mistakes people make when they're using a steamer for bed bugs. A lot of people just take the single nozzle jet attachment, they put on the end of here, and they pull the trigger. All you're going to do if you use just a single nozzle jet like that is blow them all over the place. What you want to have is good, hot, dry steam at the end of the tip that will keep the bed bugs stationary, but then get them to the adequate temperature to kill them. So if you use something like this, we'll take the steam output adjustment knob here, turn all the way to the end, pull the trigger, and then call us and say, oh my gosh, it's just blowing out cold steam. If you use the right attachment, like this one's actually labeled for bed bugs, I took one of the included cloths and put it at the end, turn the steam adjustment knob down, usually about halfway, and you pull the trigger. You have very little force whatsoever. Within about maybe 3 to 4 inches of the tip, it gets incredibly hot, between usually 270 and 280 degrees. So it'll easily kill bed bugs, fill in those cracks and crevices, and actually do a bed bug job properly. So just make sure when you're doing the job, you turn the steam adjustment knob down. If you're doing tile and grout, you want to use a single nozzle jet and the right attachment. But for bed bugs, you want to have less pressure coming out and good hot dry steam to kill the bed bugs fast. Now I'm going to show you how to do a sofa properly using the Forzas as an example. I went ahead and took off the main cushion here, and when you're doing the cushions, you want to make sure you move very slowly. With any kind of application of a steamer, rule of thumb is 1 inch per second. Good hot spots along the cushions would be where the zipper is. As you can see here, there's like a zipper cover. You want to go very slowly, go all the way around the cushions and hit all the little sewing seams and cracks where bed bugs might be. So hit those first, put the cushions off to the side, and you want to hit along the base of the sofa, then flip it upside down. There's normally like a dust cover held on by staples. Go ahead and remove that. It's more for aesthetics anyways. Remove the dust cover and get down below the sofa and hit every single crevice that you can think of as you're doing the sofa with the Forza. I'm going to show you a great example of where bed bugs might be at the base corner of the sofa. You can see a nice crevice here where bed bugs might be. When you use a steamer, especially one with this kind of tip temperature, you'll see steam shooting from the left and right hand side of the bed bug fabric tool labeled with the bed bug with the Forza here. When you pull the trigger, you want to fill in those crevices here. So as we go across, we'll pull the trigger, move about 1 inch per second. It's going to fill in all those crevices. You can see the steam all the way down to here. It's super hot. And you're working your way down all the way across. And go to every single corner and crack and crevice along the sofa. And really take your time. So if there are bed bugs even down here deep inside, it's going to kill them very quickly. Again, the steam adjustment knob is about halfway so you don't blow them all over the place. Using the right attachment, you get much better control and work your way all the way across. Every sofa is different, but you kind of get the idea of how to do the job properly. Again, it's a non-chemical treatment, so it's a great contact killer. And you can follow up whenever you want to because, again, you're just using water to kill bed bugs. I'm going to show you now how to do small cracks and crevices where you would be able to use the bed bug fabric attachment. To show you earlier in the video, you have to use a single nozzle jet attachment properly. We normally like to take a microfiber toweling. You can find this in any kind of Walmart or any kind of hand towel you might have around the house to help break up some of the pressure. It also absorbs some of the moisture coming out of the tips. You take a couple rubber bands here and you just place them over the end, as you can see here. What's going to happen now is we're going to turn the steam adjustment knob all the way down to the end. So we break up the pressure, have good hot dry steam coming out. So as you can see here along the door frame, there's very large crevices where bedbugs might be hiding. So we're going to go ahead and move about 1 inch per second, move very slowly down the frame. You'll have good hot dry steam going in, filling in those cracks and crevices, those voids, and killing any bedbugs that might be around. Another hot spot down at the bottom of the door frame. It's about a 1/2 inch. Get in there, move very slowly. If you do it properly, you'll actually see steam coming out of different crevices in the door frame as it's filling in all the voids. That completes our example. So if you have any questions about the steamer and how it operates, you can always reach us 7 days a week at www.bedbugsupply.com.